Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is TK, and this is my first video, so lucky you, you're watching it. So this is definitely my first speed build that I'm doing on The Sims 4. I I have been watching a lot of speed builds lately, and I just really wanted to get into it. Now, you didn't see me actually building the house because I had already built it a couple of days ago. Um, so I'm just working off of that original base that I had, and I definitely wanted it to be a tiny home. I've been practicing tiny homes and trying to build them, and especially getting the interior right because it's kind of hard to do. I had already had the roofing, mapped out and how I wanted the house to look. I sort of inspired it. It's sort of inspired from this picture I found of a tiny home cottage, and that's what I wanted it to be at first, sort of like a cottage looking home. But I don't know if it turned out that way. I went back and forth between a lot of windows and doors and trying to figure out what to put on this house. Ultimately, I wanted it to feel very open and airy, even though it was a tiny house. I used the windows from Strangerville. I really liked the yellow accent that they had on them. I really wanted to be like yellow and light blue, like kind of springy vibes, I guess. And I wasn't intending the theme in here, so you'll see me starting the kitchen right now, and I wasn't really intending the theme of the kitchen to be yellow. And oh gosh, I'm watching this now, and I totally realized that I probably should have put lights in the house. I don't think I did. This is like my first speed build that I'm doing, and I'm still learning the ins and outs of The Sims 4 and building. I kind of do it for fun on the downside when I'm not writing, because I do write as well. So it was a lot of back and forth and indecision. You'll see that, and whether or not where I want the windows placed and how I want this to be, and I'm still getting control of my camera movements, so I do apologize about that. But so when I was building it initially, I didn't really want the interior to be yellow. I wasn't going for a yellow theme. It just sort of worked out that way, and I had to put the most expensive appliances in there because yeah, it's me. I would put the most expensive appliances in there. Gosh, and you'll see me go back and forth because I'm gonna start. I think this was so I just finished up the kitchen right now, and you'll see me basically, when it comes to the living room, you'll see me go back and forth between how I want the living room to be set up, because it is a tiny home, so you have to really manage your space in the tiny home, and it was kind of hard to figure out the layout of the living room because it was so small. I really wanted to shy away from tiny living furniture as well, because tiny home, you're going to use tiny living. No, I really wanted to try something else. So you'll see me try to do a couple of couches and trying to figure out how to set that up, and it's not working for me. I go through 4 or 5 couches, I think, something like that, and I just can't seem to find, I was very indecisive, which is what I am during my regular life. So big surprise, right? So yeah, you'll see me go through a lot. And then I saw this yellow couch right here, this big one, but it was I really liked it. I did, but it was too big for the space. It was just too large, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do with it. And again, you just see me going through some of them, and I am trying to find a yellow palette for them, and to see, again, I don't know why I decided to go with yellow, but I decided to go with yellow. And I did like that setup right at first, and then I'm I don't know, I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this, and it just, nothing was working for me, and it took me a solid, 20 minutes just to figure it out. And then I'm well, maybe I can use these countertops as sort of an entertainment system, and I don't know what I was doing here. I was trying to like glitch it, I guess you can say, or like cheat the game. I was seeing if I can lower the cabinets or raise them to be in between both the first floor and then the basement level, so they weren't as tall. But it didn't work for me. So I ended up deleting that little space, and then I was going through these dressers and seeing, oh, well, maybe these will work as an entertainment system. And it was just like, ugh, nothing's working for me. I don't like any of this. And going through bookshelves, and then I did end up placing this tiny living TV in here, but I didn't like it. I don't know. I did want the couch. The couch I had finally made a decision on, and I liked that one. And you see me delete that wall there. I end up putting it back later because it worked well when I had it up. And I do move the kitchen around a bit. You'll see that later on as well. And I had this tiny living TV in here, and I was just trying to be like, okay, well, yeah, this looks nice. Let me move this around. And it's just like nothing was working the way I wanted it to work. And then the window was just such in an awkward place, and you'll see me, I end up changing that back window that you see in the kitchen to 3 individual windows. And this is when I realized, I think it was totally by accident, where I saw that I can bring the cabinets that you can use in the kitchen at the top, and I can bring them down to the floor level. I don't know how I figured that out, but it was a total accident, and it worked in my favor because I'm like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. Like, this is what I want. So I ended up using those cabinets. It's basically the small rectangular ones that I have in the top of the kitchen that I end up using as like an entertainment system. And then I have a difficulty finding like the right size TV, so I just ended up resizing that small one and placing it right there. And I started just adding a bunch of clutter and everything. You will see, especially because I do have other builds that I obviously didn't record, you'll see in those builds that I don't like placing clutter. It's very time consuming and it's annoying for me. So I end up just furnishing the house like bare minimum, if that makes sense. And I just sort of like leave it as is, and I add it if I end up using it for one of like my households that I play, then I'll add stuff here and there as I play along. But adding clutter and trying to make it look like it's being lived in is very difficult for me. So I'm hoping that as the time goes by, and I start making more of these builds and posting them, that it will be better. So yeah, you see me just playing like little knickknacks here and there, because I mean, honestly, this is sort of my aesthetic. I would probably place all that stuff there to make it look cool. It's sort of how my entertainment system is now anyway. So yeah, you'll see me place some of those just clutter items around. Again, a very yellow theme. I guess I just sort of went with it. I was like, okay, well, yellow couch, yellow entertainment system, let's have yellow knickknacks. Why not? So you'll see me place all those clutter items, and it is very yellow. And I don't know, it's sort of like the way that it turned out in total, with it, having the pops of yellow here and there. Oh, and this is where you see me change the window from the kitchen, because I just didn't like the way that it looked on the outside of the house. So I ended up placing the single windows from Strangerville with the yellow accent. But this ended up prompting me to rearrange the kitchen yet again. And you'll see that in a minute, that I ended up rearranging the kitchen to make it fit, because a refrigerator was blocking the view of the window. So you'll see me move those around. And then I think I change it one more time before I finish wrapping it up. So the kitchen will be changed one more time before the end of the video, and you'll see that later on. Here, I think I'm literally just staring at my computer trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Because it was very, I had a hard time. I typically make bigger houses with multiple stories that I like doing the floor plan to. Again, this is my first video that I'm uploading for you all to see, if anyone sees. So I hope you do like it. It's okay. It's kind of hard to talk for 24 minutes, isn't it? I'm going to have to get used to this. I'm going to have to practice. So right now you end up seeing me furnishing the bedroom. Again, yellow in theme. I just really wanted it to be sort of like light and springy. And I don't know, when I think of springtime, I think of yellow. Maybe because of the pollen. Oof. But yeah, I put everything. Oh, and yeah, you'll hear my brother in the background. I'm watching him for the time being. He's my little brother. He does get quite loud. He's autistic, so just don't mind that. If you can hear him, awesome. If you can't, it's awesome too, so it's whatever. So yeah, and then again, I'm trying to place like clutter item around the room, which I have really difficulty doing. I don't like, I don't know, I just have a hard time trying to like place clutter items and trying to make the house look lived in and whatnot. So usually I just typically end up doing the bedroom with the couch and a nightstand, and then the living room and kitchen and stuff like that. So and I just leave all the clutter out of it. I'm hoping that as I do continue to build, that I will get better at adding clutter. And then so here you'll see that I'm just trying to furnish it. I found this couch. So I just recently got the maraschino, I think it is. Yeah, the stuff pack. And I didn't know this rug was in there until I typed in yellow. I was looking for yellow stuff, and this rug came up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this rug. And then I realized that, wait a minute, I kind of need a table and a chair to sit at when I eat. Or when my Sims eat. So you see me place that yellow table with the yellow chair, which I really love, actually. It's right beside the front door, sort of tucked away behind the couch. And then right now you see me doing the bathroom. And so I've never liked windows in the bathroom. I don't know. I feel like there shouldn't be windows in the bathroom, but obviously for like aesthetic purposes, there are windows in this bathroom. So you do see me place curtains. I do place curtains around the house. And that's more like personal, in a way. Like I like curtains in my house. I don't like open windows like that, for everyone to see in. So I end up placing curtains all over the place in this house. And then there's not a sink in the bathroom because it's just too small. It is a 2x2 bathroom, and there's just not enough room to place a sink in the bathroom. So the sink is in the kitchen that they can use if your Sims use this to live in. So you can use a sink in the kitchen in place of the sink in the bathroom. And then I'm just trying to like find floor pieces. Like I wanted it very light, very, I did want to have hardwood in the living room and obviously tile in the kitchen. And then, oh yeah, you saw me delete that tile because I'm like, no, it's too clashy, you can't do that. But I found the tiles, I think it came with vampires, that I placed in the kitchen. I really liked it. It has that yellow tone to it. And I loved it. I was like, okay, it has to go in. And then I just moved the same wood flooring that I used for the living room into the bedroom. And then I'm just using regular, like the yellow wallpaper. I didn't want the whole house to be yellow. I just wanted the room and then sort of like an accent wall to be yellow because I'm like, oh, that's going to be too much yellow. So you see me kind of put this baby blue in here in the background. Again, I really like the combination of blue and yellow, especially light blues and light yellows. I love that color combination. So that's what I did. And for the bathroom, I really did want yellow tile in there, just not on the floor because I felt like it would clash when you look at it into the kitchen. So I ended up going with the lighter tile on the floor and then yellow tiles for the walls. And then I realized I kind of need a mirror because I don't have a dresser in here, so they need a mirror. And the mirrors were driving me crazy. So I was like, I just need a mirror in here. And I'm like, okay, one more thing for the inside, which is this rug. And I think that was it for the interior of the house. Yeah, now I start to move to the exterior of the house. And I picked this siding at first, and I'm like, I don't really like the siding that goes with this. Like, I feel like it's too bulky or too dark, and too blue, and it wasn't matching what I wanted, or wasn't really what I wanted. So I ended up putting it all around the house, but then I realized that I still had the yellow search engine. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me change that. And then I found the siding that I wanted, which is a little bit lighter, and a little bit smaller siding that I ended up placing around the house. And then I do move it back a bit, the house itself. But that's later. It looks like so right now I'm placing the curtains in the house. Again, like for personal reasons, like in my personal life, I just like having curtains covering my windows. I'm a very private person. So I don't like everyone seeing in. So I just sort of like the idea that I'm just going to put curtains everywhere, block out the natural light. And that's when I realized, I mean, again, I didn't realize this until I started doing the voiceover, that I totally didn't put any lights in the house. What is wrong with me? I'm going to have to go back and fix that, and put lights in the house, so it has lights, because you kind of need that in a house, right? And I did not play test this, so I don't know if the Sims can get into everything, but I tried to make sure when I was placing the furniture around that they could. So if you end up using this and downloading it from the gallery, let me know if I need to redo anything, because this is my first time. I'm not an expert builder for The Sims. Not like some of the people that I follow, like Simlissy, or I follow her a lot, love her, or Freezer Bunny, or anything like that. I am not that experienced. I am starting out. This is my first video, so please be patient. And then I am picking out the lot traits. I kind of went with homey stuff because it sort of was really homey. I thought so anyway. And then I do change it to homey abode. I know, original, right? And then you will see me work on the exterior of the house. Here, I did save it because I have, my Sims games likes to crash a lot. Like, I was working on it yesterday and I had to redo it because it crashed on me, and I had all the exterior stuff that I wanted done, and it crashed, and I was like, oh no. So now you see me laying down pavement. I don't play a lot with the terrain tools. When I build my houses, I build them, I furnish them, and then I don't do anything to the exterior, in terms of like terrain, or anything like that. So I'm not very good at that. That is definitely full disclosure. I think I went a little excessive on the bushes here, on the flower bushes, because I put a lot of them around the house. I don't know, it kind of looks cute though when you see it, and it's everything. I think it kind of looks like, it kind of looks cute. Yeah, you see me going through a lot of them here, and I'm just like, no, I don't like those. And then I settled on which ones. So these like blue flower bushes back here is what I settle on for the back. And then around the sides, I use, I think, the yellow ones, or no, I use the red ones right here, to line the sides of the house. No, I did use the yellow ones. Yeah, I went back. Okay, so I ended up changing my mind and going back to the yellow ones that I place all around the side of the house, on the left and right side of the house. And I tried to like blend those in to try to look seamless. I don't know how it worked. I don't know. I think, like I said, I kind of went a little excessive on the bushes around the house. And then I found these and I sized them down to put them right in the front, but it just was not cooperating with me. So I ended up deleting them and using the hedge, and I size the hedge down. I believe it's the hedge that I use. And you'll see me, yep, yeah, it is. And I size the hedge down, and I use those. for the front of the house. And so, yeah, I sized them out even more because I didn't like them too bulky and too big for the front of the house. And then you'll see me place those yellow bushes again on the right side of the house, or the left side, depending on how you're looking at it. And then I do end up adding a pool, and sorry, it's my brother. So I do end up adding a pool to the backyard. I think the pool, though, is bigger. I think the pool is bigger than the house, like in terms of how many squares it use. I can't remember, or it might be the same size. I don't know. We're about to build it right now. I'm had a lot of trouble again with the terrain because I don't use terrain tools all that often. Like I just don't decorate the outside of the houses like any of the terrain, or like just don't do it. I'm gonna have to start doing it. So yeah, you'll see me place the pool here. So I think it's about the same size of the house. And then I'm trying to find like these pavers. I didn't really like the trim the pools had to offer, so I was like, well, I'm going to use some of these terrain tools to work sort of as a trim. And I really liked the way that the light stone worked, so I decided to use that as a trim to the house. And then I just used the eraser to sort of neaten up the sides of the pool. And you see me mess up there for a minute, and I'm like, oh, okay, gotta restart again, because I gotta restart all the time. So so I'm just doing that right now, trying to get it as even as possible. And I just realized that if I do it slowly, it's not going to come out as even as if I just go for it. So you'll see me work on it a couple of times just to try to make sure it's even. I don't think I get it perfectly even, and to some people that might be but I'm like, whatever, it works. If you don't pay attention too much, it's fine. So I end up doing that, and then I was like contemplating, should I put more, is it called foliage? I don't know, flowers, whatever, bushes, flowers, around the pool area or around the walkway to get to the pool. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't do that. And then I add a fence. I think I use the Seasons fence for this, and then I think I end up changing it to the Strangerville fence. I really wanted it to be like sort of the picturesque white picket fence house that you see from the, when you're driving along in the neighborhood and you see it, because it's very cute and quaint. Like I said, I wanted to go with the blues and the yellows, and then this is where I was looking through the gates, and I thought that they had a 3 square gate, but it looks like they didn't. So I ended up using obviously a 1 square gate to place in the middle. But I just didn't like how it looked. I mean, I ended up keeping it, but, and then this is when I changed it to the fence from Strangerville to the white picket fence, because I really did enjoy, like, I do like the way that it looks, the white picket fence. And then I'm like, well, I kind of need some trees, right? It can't be too bare. So I do end up placing some trees around it, to give it a little bit more like character, I suppose. Yeah. And then I end up placing this willow tree. This is the last tree that I placed is a willow tree. And the back, because there's a willow tree in my grandparents' backyard. And it just reminded me of that, of the willow tree in my grandparents' backyard. I'm like, oh, I kind of really like this, so I'm going to put it down. And so I did. And then I'm like, well, the last thing that we kind of need is some furniture in this place for the backyard. So I ended up placing 2 sun chairs for the Sims to sunbathe, and then a table and chairs outside for them to sit, which the house is only totally built for 1 Sim because there's only 1 bed. I mean, there is a couch, so technically you could have 2 Sims, but I placed this outside table that have 4 chairs. So I mean, I guess if they have people over, the people have somewhere to sit. But I'm like, it's a little excessive, isn't it? Anyway, that is all I did. I did save it. You see me save it. That is all I did, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think, and hopefully I can get better at this. Yeah, enjoy. You'll see the pictures right now of what it looks like.